Hey, what's up guys? I'm out here doing some pre-spawn, spawn, springtime fishing for the smallmouth right now. Sometimes I'm fishing for the largemouth. Yesterday I went through my boat, took out a bunch of tackle I didn't need and put in a bunch of tackle I do need. And I kind of wanted to run through it all with you guys, show you everything I use to catch these spawning fish and these pre-spawning fish. Show you what I use to catch them on the beds, show you what I use to catch them before they make their beds, what they're going up to feed, everything. And guys, I'm just going to start out with my tackle. That's pretty much everything. I'll show you a little more I got in this one. I'm going to run through this real fast. This is one of my terminal tackle boxes. One thing I'm using heavy right now is just these cone weights. I don't really buy the tungsten ones. I think it's kind of a waste of money. But I'm using these just when I'm flipping. And then sometimes I'll run these. I'll show you. Sometimes I'll run these if I'm trying to finesse, like the smallmouth finesse fishing. And I'll just put like a grab on the back. And then one of my favorite baits, I'll show you. I'll run one of these. I'll show you what I put with that right now, actually. I think it's... Oh no, they're in here. Right here. I'll run one of these paddle tails, or any, sometimes just plain white, but this baby bass color looks really good if you guys can see that. And I'll run it on there and just use and just swim those. But that's one of my favorite springtime baits. So that's that box. This is my other terminal tackle box. I'll show you one more after this, but more hooks. These shaky heads, I love running these shaky heads with any bait you're going to use on a drop shot, you can use on a shaky head. So I'll run those when I'm trying to finesse these smallmouth. And then I got just more weights, and if I'm trying to go for these big largemouth, I'll run one of these underspins with a big paddle tail to catch those pre-spawners that are still kind of deep and moving up. This is one of my favorite boxes. I'm going to come over here and show you real quick. Easily one of my favorite boxes. This is just my grub box. I mean, this is probably my main jig trailer. I'll show you. Right there. That's what I've been using like these last few videos I've posted. Sometimes if I'm flipping, I'll just throw the creature on. Or if I like these colors, I'll rip the top off just like that. And still use that as a jig trailer. Here's my Senko box. I'm not really that big into Senko fishing or stickbait fishing. Sometimes if I'm really hurting, I'll throw some of this and just like weightless Texas rig it or wacky rig it. But I mean, the main reason I keep this on the boat because when I drop shot, if I'm drop shotting for these smallmouth, this is pretty much the only drop shot bait I use. This is like a pearl white. It's a Gary Yamamoto, and if I run out of these, I'll just throw the normal white. But I mean, I'm telling you, this is literally the only drop shot bait you'll ever need. Alright guys, this box right here, I don't know, this box means something to me. I'm going to show you. If you guys don't use these waterproof, like Loctite boxes, I'm telling you, get it. Because yesterday when I was going through my boat and just cleaning stuff, you have no idea how many like rusty hooks I had to throw away and everything. But this is my topwater box. I mean, where I live, it's not really big topwater fishing. I live in Washington State. But I mean, there is a time like May, like pretty coming up, it's almost May, but like early May, mid-May, and I go out in the mornings and we can catch, I mean, good topwater largemouth. I've caught like topwater smallmouth. Let me tell you, this bait right here, it's a Bill Dance popper. I don't think they make them anymore. I bought it off a friend that he's like vouched for it, and I've never found him anywhere else. But I'm telling you, I've caught more fish on this popper than any topwater bait I've ever used. This is easily my favorite bait. I got a few frogs in here. I don't really frog fish a whole lot, but I mean, if I get to, I'm pretty stoked because it's a big deal to catch big frog fish around here. Then just some spooks, and that's pretty much it. But I always keep my topwater box on the boat. Don't go anywhere without it. My next box, this is the box I usually don't have as organized as I do right now because I'm always losing and buying new ones. This is my jig box. Jigs are probably my favorite all-around bait, and especially right now, it's kind of what I'm mainly throwing for these smallmouth because you can just mix up the trailers and everything, and this water is pretty clean, so I'm throwing these natural colors. This black and blue one, I get a little use out of it, but not a whole lot. Earlier in the pre-spawn, I get to use this a little bit, but not as much now. But mostly I'm just throwing these natural colors, and I just throw these natural trailers too. Or if I'm targeting both large and smallmouth, I'll usually throw on the paddle tail because they both like love that, but it's still a natural color. And then most of these are outcast jigs. They're usually, most of my outcast jigs are 1/4 ounce. And if I'm buying a dirty jig, I'll either buy 1/4, 3/8, or a 1/2 ounce. Because usually if I'm throwing these dirty jigs have these bigger, stronger hooks, and I'll usually target largemouth with those. So I'll buy a little bit heavier just so I can cover more water and don't have to finesse as much. Then I just got a couple of random jigs I don't really use. These red and blue, or red and black colors, early season, but if I'm throwing red and black, I'm usually throwing a rattle trap or something. Yeah, I love this box. This box, I'm gonna cut over to the other camera. We'll check this one out. I do love this box. I don't use it as much as I wish I did, but this is like just my flipping box. I guess these lizards I don't flip as much, but they're still a lot of fun. This is probably my favorite flipping bait. It's like Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver, and it's a blue and green, so it's like natural but not natural. And a lot of my water I fish around here is like, it's stained but it's not dirty, so I like to throw this a lot, and I'll just Texas rig it and then use one of those big Trocar flipping hooks and flip these. And then as soon as, so early, like pre-spawn, the water around here is dirty, like stained, but as the spawn gets more into action, the water usually clears up around here, and that's why I like to throw this. This is like a more natural, it's like I think it's called baby bass color, and it's got like the UV in it, and I just love this color. It's what I usually throw with like my swim bait colors, but if I'm just trying to flip and I still throw this color, it's a lot of fun. And then if I'm not flipping, but it's still like close to flipping, sometimes I'll flip these lizards, and they're a lot of fun. You just kind of put the tails out, but these lizards are fun. I have some white ones I've been throwing lately. I've been killing them on the white lizards, but if I'm just like feeling like I want to have some fun, I'll throw these lizards. That's pretty much everything in this box. I got the natural colors, the more crazy colors. Probably will never use this color, to be honest. This is the last box in here I keep on my boat. This is my spinner baits. I'll show you my favorite spinner bait that I got on my pole right now. But yeah, I'm not a huge spinner bait fisherman, but I know they work, and I can't just deny them. So I just keep some. Usually I got these good Colorado blades. I like those, and then you're not cranking them all day, getting your wrist sore. I don't know. I like to just throw like a. I'll show you. I got one on my pole, just like a 4-inch paddle tail as a trailer. But I don't know. I just keep this on the boat just in case, but I don't use them that much, to be honest. Let's put all these back. I'll show you everything else about my boat. These are my favorite drop shot baits. They're the KVD. They're the Dream Shots. These are the 5-inch. It kind of looks like a little leech or something, but usually I'm not drop shotting. I usually just throw it on a shaky head, and that's my favorite way to fish these. And it's just kind of a more finesse smallmouth bait. It's a lot of fun. And these are the KVD Perfect plastics. These are the 5-inch paddle tails, the baby bass color. This is my favorite pre-spawn to spawn largemouth fishing bait, because those largemouth, they're just feeding before they spawn. And I just crank one of these. I put on one of those like those weighted Gamakatsu, like the belly weighted hooks, and I'll just slow crank it on the bottom. And I'm telling you, half the time the fish will bite it just on the drop, because I kind of flip it like into heavy cover, and then on the retrieve also they smack it. So I'm gonna put these back in here. I don't keep a whole lot of more tackle on the boat. I'll show you. I just have these 2 bags right here. Okay, these 2 bags. This is my white bag. I'll show you what's in here. I don't use everything in here that much. These are just kind of like a fun frog bait I bought. I'd probably never use these, but this is what I've been killing them on lately. It's just a white lizard. I kind of just Texas rig them and just swim them, because these legs just, you know, they go crazy in the tail. So I've just been Texas rigging these white lizards and just swimming them, and they've been doing really good, especially in this dirtier water. If I want to finesse, sometimes I'll shaky head one of these. They're just big white worms. I don't really use them a whole lot. I kind of bought them on the spotted bass fishing trip I was on, but I still like to keep them on the boat just because they're white. And if I like come across the bedfish and he's not biting, you gotta go white. if I'm pre-spawn fishing in the really dirty water, I like to throw these. They're just a white paddle tail. I mean, it's definitely not my first choice. If I really need to, I will throw it. This bag, this is some of my most productive baits this year so far, especially in the pre-spawn. The water's been a little dirtier this year, so I'm kind of just solely been throwing like a June bug color, which is just this purple and blue flake color. I'll show you. So yeah, but kind of this bag right here is probably my most productive bag. This bag, and this pre-spawn fishing, this water's been really dirty this year, so I've been kind of sticking with the June bug color, this like purple with this blue flake. I'll show you some of my favorite. So if I'm flipping, I'll Texas rig like a flipping hook. If I'm flipping, I'll throw these. These are just the Brush Hog June bug colors, and this is some of my favorite baits. They just have a lot of action and they just look good on the sink, you know, on the downfall. And if I don't really want to flip, if I want to flip and retrieve, I'm gonna throw something like this. These are some of my favorite. I still Texas rig them, but I don't put a flipping hook on. I just put an offset hook, the offset worm hook on. And these are just these worms, and these tails just kind of, these curl tails, they kind of just swim in the water. And I'm telling you, it's for the largemouth. They love it. I'll give you guys a few more of those. My favorite one, it's by Missile Baits. I kind of want to tackle warehouse, and I just want to try new like June bug colored worm baits to throw. And I've seen these, and they're kind of intriguing. So there's like a normal worm on the top, but they got a twin tail, and that twin tail gives really, really good action. So I've been this has been my main bait. I'm almost out, but this has been my main pre-spawn like largemouth fishing bait this year. I'm having a lot of fun with this. A couple other ones are these Zoom baits. It's called a Shaky Tail, Super Salt Plus Shaky Tail, June bug color. They're just a normal stick bait with a curly tail on, a little more curl than the first one I showed you. But these work really good if you're just throwing a small, like Texas rig, small offset worm hook. I would throw one of these. And then I got these bigger ones, which is like once the water gets a little cleaner, I'm throwing these because these have like a purple flaky color on this side, and then like a more natural green with black flake on this side. And this one I'm almost throwing weightless, or like a 1/16 ounce worm weight Texas rig with the peg, and I'm just working these real slow and kind of just walking them through the water, and they work really well too. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys what I have tied on all my poles right now, and the poles I do keep on the boat. My first one, this is an Okuma EVX Graphite. It's the IM8 series. I bought this in like 2015, 2016, I think, spring of 2016, and this has so far been my favorite rod I've ever fished with. I don't know, something about the handle. I like the small grip on the handle because it keeps me comfortable in my hand all day. And I do like the eye grips. For some reason, I feel like I kind of forearm this, and I feel like I can feel the most with it. And this is just I bought this Curado at the same time. It's just a 7.2-to-1 Curado 201. I fish the left-handed reels. I am right-handed, but for some reason it makes more sense to cast with my right hand and then keep the pole in my right hand, and I feel more comfortable setting the hook with my right hand. So I've always fished with left-handed reels. And on this one, I'll show you what I got on all my poles right now. This, I just have one of those Outcast tackle jigs tied on. It's just a swim jig, and I have a Gary Yamamoto twin tail tied on. It's just like one of the 4-inch ones, and they're just pretty natural colors. I don't know, this is my favorite jig. The hooks are strong, they stay sharp. I'm not getting snagged too bad, and when I do get snagged, I can usually pull it out. And these jigs swim really good, and the skirts always stay even. That's one thing that I don't like about some jigs. The skirts get messed up. These skirts always stay even. So this is definitely my favorite jig this year. Now I'm going to show you what I got on my other poles. Okay, let's look at some of these poles and what I have tied on. This is the G Loomis E6X, the Bass series they make. This is one of their crankbait series rods. I mean, I definitely run crankbaits when I run crankbaits with it, but if I'm not, I always run something bigger like this spinnerbait right here with this like white paddle tail. This is a great springtime bait. I've been throwing it a lot today because it's been so windy. It's actually been doing good. And I just have a left-handed Corrado 7.2-1, just one of my favorite reels I've had on. This one's held up pretty good. Okay, this rod, this is a special rod to me. I bought it off a friend. It's a Lamaglass Pro Series. It's a 7-foot, it's a 7-foot medium heavy rod with like a real fast tip action for crankbaits. This is like my favorite. I throw this rod for like rattle traps and like square bills and all that, but right now I'm not throwing any of those, so I just tied on. Right now I'm not throwing any of those baits, so I just have I tied on a white lizard Texas rig with the peg, and I've kind of just been flipping this today just for those pre-spawn bass. But this rod is definitely my favorite rod. Let's get in here, check out the rest of, I don't have all my rods on the boat. Okay, this rod right here, Maddie was using this rod. She's kind of taking over this one. I bought this, it's an Abu Garcia Revo, the Revo SX. And I bought this when I wasn't too educated on reels. I bought this when I wasn't too educated on reels. And I ended up, okay, I bought this reel when I wasn't too educated. And it was kind of one of my first casting reels I bought. And this was probably 4 or 5 years ago. It's a 7.1-1. And I've ended up not minding it too bad. I don't love it. It's got 10 bearings. It's got everything. It was pretty expensive. But I mean, it's kind of been sidelined compared to my Shimano's, because for some reason my Shimano's are more comfortable for me in my hand, and that's kind of the biggest thing, because I do fish a lot and I fish long hours, and if it's not comfortable in my hand, I don't like the reel. And this pole, this is a Fenwick Silverhawk. It's kind of one I just picked up on sale. It's like extra rod. I think it was like 50 or 60 bucks. I don't mind it. The handle's too big down here, so it's not as comfortable in my hand, but the rod and the action is really nice, so I do enjoy that part of it. But I just don't think it's very comfortable. Alright, this is my finesse rod. This is what I was showing you earlier with these KVD Dream Shots. I have it on a shaky head. This is the 5-inch ones. I love running this just for finesse fishing smallmouth. It's a great setup. This rod is a Lew's spinning reel. I'm not that picky when it comes to spinning reels, because I don't finesse fish that often. It's just a cheaper Lew's reel I picked up. It's a bigger one, but it's nice because I do like, when I do finesse fish, I still do like to do long, big casts. I do like to throw a little heavier finesse baits. And this rod, it's a Okuma Reflections. I mean, some people might think it's a little big for finesse fishing, but I'm telling you again, I like to run a little heavier stuff finesse fishing. It's a 7-foot, 8 to 7 pound rod. It's just a medium action, and I like it. It's got the eye grip, which I do really like, and I do like that feeling, and I've had a lot of fun with this rod, to be honest. Alright guys, that's pretty much all my baits, all my rods, lures, everything I keep on the boat right now to fish these springtime fish. I'm gonna get back to fishing. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you look forward to my next fishing video. I'm gonna go use all that stuff I just showed you, and I'm gonna explain how it works and how it catches fish, and I'm just gonna put it to the test. Thank you.